Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. Tonight I come to you with my Shirley Temple doll, and this is where I left off before I veered off onto the boudoir doll that was I did for a lady there. Now this is the 27 or 25 inch, I think it's the 27 inch Shirley Temple, and she is marked on the back Shirley Temple. I'm not sure, let's take a look at her head. It may be too, yeah, she is also, and she has the copyright on the back of it here, and that tells me that this is when they made the Shirley Temples, that they were still getting the patent for it, so this is before patenting it. And what I read about the Shirley Temple doll was that when they brought the doll out, they weren't sure, like they weren't going to patent it right away. That's why you see the C on there, and in the circle, and they were waiting to see how well the doll would take off. Would people really want it? And it took off, like people were buying it like for their children left, right, and center, and for their daughters. And she was really loved by everybody. And so, you know, she made a lot of money for the Ideal Toy Company. It was shortly after that that they then put the patent on her. And they came out with a variety of sizes. I think the smallest is 11 inch. I have one 11 inch. I have to work on her just as well. And I think then 13, and then it goes up, I think, now I've seen 15 or 6, I think 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, and then the 25, and then there's a 27. There might be other sizes that I missed. Maybe there's a 17 in there. I'm not sure. I haven't got all the sizes, I know that. The famous size is about the size 18, which is the 18-inch doll, which you see also in the American Girl. It's a very comfortable size for mid-size, like a girl about 7, 8 years old. The little ones, you know, any age could actually have them, but you know, they made them in a variety of sizes and everything, and different costumes. We all know that from her movies that she made and everything. But this is mine that I'm working on, and I'm kind of in it. I'm trying to figure out where I was, where I have been with her. So one of the things that I do is I strip the paint off of her because it was just breaking off of her left, right, and center. A lot of lips on this doll. I know you didn't get to see that part of her. You'll see that I've got some with white, not fully painted, you know, type of thing. What I do is I take all the paint off of her first, if it need be. And then after that, I then will put on a coat of dry spackling. Spackling I put on, it's not to be the whole body's going to be white when it's done. Where my knife has nicked or played, when children have played with their dolls, they put little dents into the wood. Or if my knife, while taking off the paint, put a little nick into the composition, it fills in that. So what I'll do is I'll sand the doll, and then I'll show you afterwards. My next video is going to be is when I'm done sanding her, then what I do is you'll see all the places where the white has stayed. And I don't go digging it out or anything. It stays and it fills that up so that my paint doesn't fall into it. And you still see those nicks coming through. Somebody, I wish I know who you were introduced, told me, said, you ever tried spackling? It was way long ago. I mean, I'm going to say about 3 or 4 years ago. And I was discouraged not to use it. But I went and got some anyways, because I wanted to see. I want to know what it did. And when I found out what it was good for, it took me a while to figure it out. I mean, I was using it all over and thinking that it was just the whole body's going to be white, like putting milliput all over the whole body. No, that's not what it was. And I did that to a doll. I milliput the whole body, and it didn't need to be like that. But again, I was learning, you know. I made my mistakes, and I'll gladly share them with you, what to do and not to do. I mean, I've done it, you know, so I'll let you know. After I take off, I sand this down, and I've got the body where I can see all the nicks are filled. I'll put a coat of paint on top, and it shows me where I missed. That some of it didn't get enough white into it, because it will fall, the paint will fall into those nicks. So I'll go over it again with the spackling, sand again, and it works very well. And then usually it's about twice I have to do it. I think the head, I can't remember because it's been a while, but the head has been done and she looks really good. I still see some little nicks around her cheeks there. I might still do another thing. I'll sand some of this paint, and then I'm going to put a little bit more just in the cheek area, okay, just around in here, just a little bit, just in here, because the rest of her looks really good. I still see a few nicks up top here, just a few. And so I might just go over her again. I might just do a facial on her and just go over and give it one more time. So I'm going to show you that coming up, how I just give this a light sanding, some of the paint off, and then I'm going to put in the spackling. Now, the spackling I buy is supposed to go on pink, and then it turns white. Now, over time, because I buy the small one because I did buy the big one at one time. Big mistake, because it ages. Now, it will work even if it is white, okay? Like, it goes on pink, turns white. That means it's dried. But I'm okay with it if I don't need the pink. If the pink fades out in here, and I open it up and I find out that it's, you tell the pink, it's really this color pink when it starts. So the pink is fading in this. I've had it for a little while. But even if it is still, it goes to white, I still use it. Now when it gets like a grayish brown, I'm done. Okay, I'm going to get a new one. And that's what I do. I'll use this still for a while until it turns that brown color, and then I'll go buy another one. I don't know if being that it's brown, if it's any good or not, but I try to keep it as fresh as possible. But right now at the stage it's at, even if it turns white, I still use it. I just don't know when it's dry. I know when it's dry. You can touch it. You can feel. Now this has been on here for quite some time. And I like leaving it on even though it dries very quickly because we're putting such a thin coat on it. I let it go 2-3 days and just let it dry really good. And then I come back to it maybe about 2 days, not 3. I'll say 24 hours of just letting it sit, getting really good and dry on the doll. And then I come in and I sand it. And it sands beautiful. And I keep my vacuum cleaner nearby because after I'm done, I just vacuum it up. And, oh, it's beautiful to work with. I love the spackling. And it does do that job where it fills in those little dents from play or from my knife. And I'm happy with it. But these are preliminary type things that I do with my doll. Now, not everybody does this. Some people will just paint regardless of the dents. I don't like seeing them. I really don't. If I can fix her up to just a look at, maybe I'm trying to be too perfect, maybe, I don't know. But I want her to turn out beautiful. And that's and I got time. I'm retired. And I want to take my time on these dolls. Make sure I'm giving them the best restoration I can muster out. And if it means I have to take a little bit more time, I'm going to do that for her. And like I can still see even on this leg here, right in here, there's some dents where I need to put some, I missed by putting this white stuff on. I didn't even get in here. So I got to go back and on her and just in places because I know, and let that dry. Because I know that's going to show up in my paintwork. And if I don't have to have that show up in my paintwork, I hope you could see that on the camera there. These little dents, I don't want to, let me see what you're seeing here, if you can see those or not. I don't want to get it blurry, but I don't know if you can see that. But they're right right there some, right in there. Those are little dents, and I just like to put that stuff across it, so I'll probably do that today. Just go right across that. I also want to fix this in here, this right here. I want to get that fixed as well. So there are some things that I want to get done here on her. I was, you know, being taken away with the other doll, which I enjoy doing very much, that boudoir doll. I love, love, love doing her, and I can't wait to do my own coming up. But that's where I am with the Shirley Temple doll. So get ready. I'm going to take you through the steps of her and how I do my restoration. Not everybody does it like this. You'll develop your own pattern of how you like to do it. You can copy mine. I don't own it. So I can tell you what I do. I don't own the restoration. I just know what I like and what I like to see done and what I've perfected along the way. That works for myself, and all the testing and trials that I do. And like I say, if it takes me a little while, it takes me a little while. This is not one thing about restoration. If I used to be the person I want it done right away, I didn't like knitting because it wasn't done right away. You had to put it down, pick it back up, put it back down, pick it back up. I'm not like that. I used to be the person now. And that was my personality back then. But then I had kids I was raising. I was on the go. I had a job, a full-time job, and it had a lot of demand on me. Go, go, go. So I think that's where that attitude came from me. But now, today that I'm retired, I don't have that attitude anymore. time is I got a lot of it now, and so I can take my time and allow the doll to come through the restoration. And I hope that for everybody out there who is doing a restoration, even if you are in that lifestyle like I had of go, 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 that you can sit back and say, okay, I need to give it time and to look at what I'm doing more thoroughly, and not just have a doll slapped together and done. And that we look at the doll and say, look at old girl, you need to be done properly. But you know what? Proper to you is what not to the next person. So I don't judge anybody for what they do on their doll, because it's your doll. And I want you to enjoy your restoration. I enjoy this. I have fun with these. And I don't mind sharing what I know and where I made my mistakes. And believe me, I've made my mistakes. And I'm still learning. I'm not done. And I hope I never am. And I'm always watching for things on YouTube and whatnot where I can enhance my restoration. But this will be the next step, is sanding her body down. And I'm not going to show the sanding, but I will show you. I want you to see the results now. And then I will, right now in front of you though, I will put on this, not this body. This body's looking pretty good. But I will take this one here and show you how I put, where I want to put this stuff on her, the spackling on her. It's all water cleanup, so don't worry about that. It's not going to needs chemicals or anything for cleaning up. And see, I just put on a light coat across on her here. And I go right along here. We'll put a nice light coat on her here. And see, it goes on pink, and then when it dries, it'll turn white. But I don't trust that. I want a little bit longer for it to cure on her. And there we go. Just a nice thin layer. All right. That looks good. So there's that one done. And I probably was thinking the same thing on her here. I was seeing little dents on her right in here. I was seeing stuff on her and on her arm in here where it needed more of the spackling on her. Well, when you paint, you start to see where it falls into. And this is like I mean, you could even just put a coat of white on her if you want to, just to see where it lies, where it goes into. And, you know, that's what I like to do. Now, I don't see, I'm not really looking. I'm just going to do this because I know it's there. Now I can see them as I'm filling it in. You can see where it's filling in. And that's what I like to do. Just go around and just fill this in. Now I have little hooks where I hook these up. And see, there's more on this side too. And that's why I probably stopped painting on her, because I could see all the little nooks on her, little nicks that I made on her, not nooks, nicks that I made with my knife or through play. This is wood, soft wood, and if a child laid it down with a thump and there's something sharp there, it would pick it up and through the paint. And I can see this right down this arm here. There was a nice little gouge sitting there. And that's why I like this stuff. I just sit and put it on, and then you can go back and sand it. It sands beautifully. Now sometimes Millie Putt will have to fill in this gouge here. I may never be able to get this, because this stuff is so soft, it may not fill that little, I'm going to try with it first. And I just don't rely on Millie Putt anymore. I also rely on other tools as well. Millie Putt is great, and don't get me wrong, but I can see it right across her hands, little gouges, and those were probably from my knife. You know, so you want to make sure that you're giving her, like I say, the best restoration you can muster. Now, if this shuts off, everybody, I say goodnight to you. It is here 10 after 2, so you're able to see that. I'm going to hang this up and just let her dry. And then I'll come back to it. And you know what? I might have to put a couple coats on it. It may not just take this one coat. I'll go back over it again If I see someplace where I've missed, I'll do it again until I feel confident that it looks the best it's going to look. And that's just how I am with it. I will make sure that, you know, now, oh gee, I touched it right where I went on there. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's put some more on this side, and then we'll hang it up too. I can see some down in here. And this is probably why I was, you know, doing all, oops, I'm off camera here. Notice I was off to the side. I'm just going to go up along here like this, and this stuff is not expensive, very cheap, but very good for falling, like I say, into the crevices of where it needs to go. So what I'm going to do next is off camera, sand this body down, and then make another video to show you. So please join back with me again to see the next steps. See some right in here. And like I say, just because I do this once, I have to do it again. Sometimes I sand it right out. I was too aggressive myself. And I just hand sand. I don't use the Dremel or anything of that sort. The Dremel's too aggressive for this stuff here, because it's a very, this spackling is very soft, and it's not meant to be hacked away at. So we're going to take this and hang this up and let it dry. And we'll come back to it, of course, in a little bit here. I've got some hooks here at the back behind me here. I know you're not seeing me. Oh, there we go. I'll show them to you in a few minutes here, my hooks. Maybe I can do that. 16, probably not. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Nice talking to you, and we'll be talking to you again. This is all I'm going to do right now. Bye-bye.